And let's talk about how to be nice and take care of all types of library items, okay? So, do we want to step on it? No. Do we want to eat around it? No. Stuff could get in there. That's gross. Do we want to drink around it? No, because then it could fall on there, right? And then it would be all damaged, and then nobody else would be able to use that thing. Do we want to let our dog eat it? No. Which, you may think that's pretty silly, but we get a lot of books back that have been chewed by dogs. And maybe cats, and maybe bunnies, I don't know. It's been chewed. And do we want to eat it ourselves? No, right? And we don't want to let like a toddler in our house eat it or anything either. Both for the toddler's sake and for the item's sake, the book's sake. Do we want to throw it? No, because it's a thing that we want lots of people to be able to use, right? And throwing it will damage it. And do we want to have dirty hands when we're using it? Like we have jelly on our hands or mud on our hands or something? No, right? We want to have nice clean hands when we use it. Do we want to leave it outside? No, even if it's like on the porch, like under a roof, it can still get super weird and bugs can get into it, right? So don't leave it outside. You can take it outside, obviously, but just don't leave it outside. We want to be able to have you borrow some really nice, clean, good-looking stuff. And the better everybody treats everything, the more stuff that we can lend out, okay? And the longer the stuff lasts. So like if this book lasts 20 years, then I could get stuff throughout those 20 years, right? But if it's all messed up and broken and I have to keep replacing it, then I'm not going to be able to buy as much stuff. If I have to replace this 5 times in 20 years, then that's like 4 other things or 5 other things that I'm not going to be able to buy that are different, all right? So we want to give you lots of choices. And we also want you to be able to borrow stuff that looks real good. So that is why we have all of these things we want you to do. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit. Do we want to put our stuff on a nice table? Yeah, right? The floor isn't a place for this stuff. The table is. Yeah. Or a shelf, you know. Do we want to put it in our bag and keep it safe? Yeah, we totally do. But do we want to have a water bottle in that bag with our stuff? No, because the water bottle might leak. And then the thing would be damaged. And then we'd have to replace it. And then that's less stuff we can get for you to use, all right? So, put it in the bag, but don't have a water bottle in the bag. And oh, I said, do we want to put it on a shelf? Yeah, totally, right? And then if we put all our library items on a shelf or on a table or in one specific place, then we know where they all are when it's time to bring them back, and we don't have to do a big search for them. And do we want to bring it back when we're done with it so other people can use it? Yeah, totally. And remember, I said there's no late fees, all right? You don't have to pay anything. It used to be like 10 cents a day for a book, all right? But you don't have to pay anything for late fees. Just bring it back as soon as you can so somebody else can use it. It's always sad when you come in to get something and it's not on the shelf, right? And we try to make it so that never happens. But people doing their part and bringing it back is the best way to make sure it doesn't happen. All right, and now, this is more important than ever right now. You want to make sure you wash your hands before you touch library stuff and after you use library stuff. Or touch library stuff, okay? So wash your hands before and wash your hands after. We want to make sure that you stay as safe as possible. And when we get books back from people, we do put them in quarantine for 5 days so that all the germs are dead before we put it back on the shelf, okay? But we want to make sure that you're staying as safe as humanly possible. And we have lots of different rules for ourselves when we're touching your stuff. Like I'm touching this book right now with bare hands, and I did just wash them, but I'm still going to put it in quarantine after because I don't want anybody to get sick just in case, okay? So we're following a whole bunch of rules, and we just want you to do your part at keeping you safe.